All right, back again, y'all. Hmm. All right. Yeah. Okay, sound looks good. All right. Another live stream on the road again, man. Started here in a minute. Yeah, we'll get started here in a minute, y'all. And we winding down, man. What is it? Wednesday, right? Yeah, we're winding down. 3 more days, 3 more nights. Yeah, somebody just wanted to come back on here and discuss about this fight, this flyweight fight. So yeah, talk about it here in a minute. We'll make sure this connection is good while I'm on the move. All right, let's see. Make sure the sound is good. All right, yeah, man. So we'll get started here now in a minute or two. Actually, had somebody comment and they wanted me to talk about this a little bit. Two Beast, yeah, Two Beast had asked me about this interview that Valentina Shevchenko, she did recently on Yahoo Sports, and she was talking about her opponent, Jessica Andrade. Oh, Mr. Lee, he said, "Can I explain what happened at the Tracy Cortez weigh-in?" I had to go back and look at it again. Like, did they try to cover the weight up, Mr. Lee? Is that what you mean? Like, were they trying to cover her weight? Because I thought she made like what 126 or something like that. I had to go back and look at that because it might be similar. I don't know if you mean like what they did to Canelo. Yeah, I have to go back and look at that, man. But yeah, let's see, man. Oh, Colton, when was the last time there was two women title fights on the card? This is the biggest fight for WMMA in a while. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they brought out the curtain. Usually when they bring out that curtain, that's like whenever the girl has a strip all the way down. They brought out the curtain like that for Misha Tate before, and they brought out the curtain for I think DC had to strip down one time. Yeah, they usually break that curtain out like if you take everything off to make weight. That's all that is. But yeah, man, let's talk about this interview. Yeah, like I said, one of my followers, Two Beast, he was talking about. He brought up this interview that Valentina Shevchenko did with Yahoo Sports, and the interviewer, I forget his name, he had asked Valentina Shevchenko. Well, he brought up how Rose Namajunas had mentioned how hard Jessica Andrade hits, and he brought up the fact that Rose was comparing the power. She was comparing the power, and she said, okay, yeah, Jessica Andrade hits a hell of a lot harder, and I think Valentina Shevchenko, she gave an interesting answer that made sense. She said, it's not all about the power, but she also said that she feels like Amanda Nunes, she feels like Amanda Nunes can, hit harder. She don't think that Jessica Andrade can hit harder than Amanda Nunes. And she also said she feels like, I think, going by what she said, I couldn't really hear, part of her English, but she even said that Holly Holm hits harder. I was like, wow. She said Holly Holm hits harder. So I thought that was crazy. Um, and then she also said that she feels Jessica Andrade is not a better wrestler than Juliana Pena. Which I found a lot of that interesting, but at the same time, I could definitely understand where she's coming from with that. Because when you talk about Amanda Nunes' power, yeah, you can't really question her power. She's a girl that fought at the highest weight, 135, 145, and she's knocking people out at that weight. Like Amanda Nunes, I think we can safely say that just going by her punching technique and her style, she is definitely like bringing the power as an equalizer. Where Jessica Andrade, she has that equalizer too, but she's not as technical with her power. Her power punches are not as technical, so it's not the same. You know, it's not the same type of power being generated. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting that she brought that up. So yeah, I wanted to go back and talk about that because when you match up just the styles too, like I know they're completely different fighters. Jessica Andrade's a different fighter than Amanda Nunes, but when you really look at how they throw their punches, and then you just look at the size difference too, you got to factor all that in. You factor in the way Amanda Nunes turns her punches over, and just her being naturally heavy-handed. You could definitely say, yeah, she is the harder puncher. So, Valentina Shevchenko could go into this fight saying that, yeah, she hits harder. Just the way she throws her overhand right. Amanda Nunes, the way she generates that power, the way she punches down. When you punch down versus punching up, you really do generate a lot of power that way. You can really score big knockouts. That's why Amanda Nunes could go in there against a 6 foot tall Megan Anderson and just freeze her up just like that with some hard overhand rights. And she could put away somebody like Chris Cyborg. So there's a lot of different factors in there that come into Amanda Nunes and how she delivers her power versus, Jessica Andrade. Yeah, again, Jessica Andrade could be naturally powerful, but there's going to be some setbacks for her to becoming a harder puncher at like a higher weight or even at flyweight to compete with Amanda Nunes' power. She has a lot more. She has the reach, the size, the strength, the technique. Where if you don't really continuously work on that, even for your frame, or if you just don't have that reach and you have to punch up versus punching down, then yeah, that will take away from your punching power. That opponent will always have to be on the inside in the pocket where you can land those hard shots. Where like Valentina, that's something that she's not really going to have to worry about as much as she did against Nunes, because Nunes had the reach where she's got a height advantage and a reach advantage over Jessica Andrade. So with that reach advantage, she could just stay on the outside. So the power is not really going to be there to be generated unless she stays in the pocket. That's how Rose felt the power. Rose wouldn't have felt that power if she stayed on the outside. That power is not really going to reach the outside because of the reach. Rose, towards that second and third round, when she stayed in the pocket with Jessica Andrade, yeah, she was going to feel it because those overhand rights came from the inside. The hard body shots started coming on the inside, and that's just where somebody with the build of Jessica Andrade will be effective. They got that compact body where it's kind of built for hooks. It's built for power hooks on the inside. But yeah, from what she was saying, she said, she don't think Jessica Andrade hits as hard as Holly Holm either. I mean, there might be some truth to that. I don't know. I mean, I could see more so with, yeah, I could definitely see Amanda Nunes hitting hard. I think we all can agree there. But Holly Holm, I didn't see that. I mean, Holly Holm is definitely a physically strong bantamweight. She's definitely physically strong, but I think maybe even Holly Holm holds back on her power sometimes. Yeah, Cole said no one hits like Amanda. She debilitates girls the second she lands a clean shot. Right, right. Like Jessica, she has power. She has power, but even when she fought Caitlin Chikagan at 125, it was a breakdown. She had to break her down. She stabbed the body a lot. She never really chin checked Caitlin Chikagan. It wasn't until the end of the round, after the accumulation of body shots, in my opinion, that she really, did that major damage. But yeah, somebody like Amanda Nunes, that's a different story. Just the overall turning over of a punch, punching down, natural power, uh, big, just an overall big bantamweight or big featherweight. She has power, man. She's got the real deal. So yeah, I agree with Valentino on that. So Valentina, yeah, she's not really going to be worried about just the power in this fight. And that's what she said. She was like, it's not just about the power. It's just not going to be about power. It's about skill. And, she said she trains for everything. So, Two Beats, what's going on? Yeah, we're just talking about that interview that you asked me about, man. I was just giving my thoughts on some of the stuff she said. I agree. I agree with what she was saying. Like, even with the wrestling, she said Pena's a better wrestler. I think so. I think there's more technique to Juliana Pena. Like, I think Juliana Pena's wrestling was very effective against fighters like Kat Zingano. It was very effective against Valentina Shevchenko. It was just that she got reckless. She got very reckless, and that cost her. Like when she started trying to fight with those knees in the clinch, throwing the same knee over and over, Valentina was gonna figure that out. But when it came to the wrestling, I really felt like her wrestling was kind of giving Valentina some fits in that first and second part of the second round. So yeah, that can be argued too. Her wrestling probably is, better than Jessica Andrade. But there's still a lot to Jessica that makes her a very, very a dangerous opponent. I think Jessica still has more of a what's she still has this animal in her. This, like I always bring up, her relentlessness is just so much more than these other fighters, and her natural strength is something to deal with. But you got to, you got to be on the inside. She got to be on the inside, and that's something that they have to be training for, to get in on a very good counter striker with very great uh, distance management. Put it that way, you know. Yeah, but yeah, what she said in just a minute, brings up a lot of things to talk about as far as like what a fighter looks for in there and what they're really worried about. Somebody on Valentina's level is not really worried about power, right? you know, Valentina's not worried about somebody's power. They're going to be more so thinking about uh, how they deliver it, the technique they have to getting it done. Like a wild swinger is something she ain't going to really have to worry about. See somebody like Amanda Nunes, yes, that's why their two fights were so close. And Valentina Shevchenko, I think she'll have more moments where she goes on the offense in this fight, and you'll see her doing more offensive work in this fight versus it'll be more offensive work than she's ever done in both Amanda Nunes fights. You know, she took a cautious approach in that fight. So did Nunes. They both were very respectful of each other. I think there'll be times where Valentina just feels like, oh, I don't have to respect you. I can just come in there and do what I want. Oh, okay, stamina. That's that article. Got you. I got you. That's that article. What else were we talking about? What else did she? What else we talked about in that interview? Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, 2B. So hold on. The difference is that Jessica won't show the respect or the use of the same caution that Amanda did or the other fighters would. Andrade would be more of a risk taker. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That could be a benefit, or it could cost her the fight. That's why I was saying Valentina, she'll probably take more chances herself when she sees those openings because she knows that Nunes ain't really going to be a chess player in there. Excuse me, Andrade's not going to be a chess player like Nunes. Nunes was showing the same respect because they know their skill levels. They don't want to get caught with something. That's what happens when you fight. When you put high level fighters in there, there's not going to be like a bunch of toe to toe, blow for blow battle in there. They're both going to play chess. So yeah, Jessica Andrade, yeah, she will not show she won't over respect Valentina at times. She will take the chance that a lot of other fighters don't take. She will go in there and try to find that opening that she says she sees in the embedded. Cola said, I'm surprised Amanda didn't try to take Valentina down more in the second fight, use her size. That says a lot about Valentina's strength, though. That says a lot about her physical strength, though. Like, you try to go in there and take her down, get sloppy, she can submit you too. She's very strong. Valentina is physically strong. That's why going into this fight here, something else I want to talk about is the physical strength. Like, Jessica Andrade is she's hella strong. She's farm girl strong. Valentina, she's also strong though. She's very physically strong. Going by just how she works her core. She works on the foundation of her legs. She keeps that type of grounded strength, and a lot of technique, but behind the way she throws her shots. A lot of technique behind Valentina. She throws everything proper, so it builds up. It builds up the right muscles, and she's strong in the right places. If that makes sense. The more and more you keep your feet planted the right way when you throw a punch over and over and over, that builds that right foundation for you to be stronger than most fighters. You flick jabs out any type of way or throw them out any type of way, you're not generating any type of strength or power. Put yourself in that uncomfortable situation and you continue to build your body up. It'll continue to build up your strength in that position. Of how you notice how she holds her stance. She's always in that ready to strike stance. Like, to keep that for 5 rounds, that's tough. That's tough. That shows you how strong she is. And she's got that athletic burst too. She's got that burst where she just be picking girls up too. She picked Holly up. Who else did she pick up? Like, it was crazy how she picked up. I think it was Jennifer Maia, right? She picked Jennifer Maia up, took her away from the fence, and just slammed her. So she's got that too. And sometimes it's a little bit more unpredictable. Jessica Andrade, you can kind of see hers coming because when Jessica goes for you, she gets you to that cage, and she goes down, 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 and she grabs that leg, and then all of a sudden you up in the air, you going for that ride. When that move is coming. It's like watching like a wrestling match or something. When that person is going for that signature move. But sometimes, the way Valentina comes with it, she comes with those moments where she picks these girls up, takes them off their feet. You don't even see it coming. That's how strong she is. Especially, yeah. That's how, yeah. especially considering the first. Yeah, yeah. I guess she didn't want to get into that battle, man. That's a lot of respect there. That's a lot of respect Nunes had for her. Fighting Shevchenko is like playing chess against the computer. She's even right. Yeah, yeah, like that's true. Like you ever play chess with yeah, you play chess on the computer. I used to do that in high school or middle school, and it was the minute I start, I'll get checkmated in like a minute. I was like, damn, that's kind of how it is with her. Everything she does is about being precise, accurate, and ending the fight. You know, So yeah, what else we talk about in that interview here? Jessica, like I said, we talked about that. Jessica's power not being on par with Amanda Nunes, which yeah, she can make that argument. She's been hit by Holly, so you know. But I think Holly's power comes in a different way. Holly's power comes in a different way. Um, I don't think a lot of fighters worry about getting knocked out by Holly with the hands. They're more so worried about the head kick from Holly Holm. You know, Ronda Rousey, she was just eating shots from Holly Holm because she was running into him. No defense, and you running into the impact. I mean, that's pretty much your own fault. You're knocking yourself out there. So you're doing part of the job for Holly when she's landing those big strikes. You're adding power to it. But yeah, I think that's a pretty much safe to say. Yeah, Nunes' power is very. She hits harder and it's much more dangerous. It's a lot more dangerous than Andrade's power, because again, man, just even looking at how she did to Megan Anderson again, man, just how Megan was so uh, frozen. She was just so frozen after eating one of those right hands, and then followed up another right hand. Her whole body just froze up and took her out of her game plan. Yeah, man. And I think the more I look at it too, I think that Valentina is going to know how to fight the shorter fighter. I mean, the benefit of fighting a short fighter like this, and being a good counter striker, is you got to think too. Valentina is going to be punching down a little bit at times. She's going to be punching down, and when she punches down, that's going to generate power for her. We're talking about how Nunes throws the overhand right, and she comes down with it. Well, Valentina, when she punches down with her straight left hand counter, that thing's gonna be doing some damage. Because you punch down, that generates, boy. So think of that. Then somebody else, we were talking about the head kicks. You'll be open more so to those head kicks. They'll come faster because Valentina doesn't have to kick as high, and they'll hurt more. Like if she was kicking the body, they'll be coming to like at that they'll be coming at that angle. So overall, like I said, even going by my prediction again on what I've said before Valentina said it, before I've heard her say it, I think that this is going to be a dangerous fight, but not challenging. Like dangerous meaning that you got to be on your P's and Q's. You gotta be on your game all day with Andrade until you eventually stop her. But when it comes to like Amanda Nunes, you can see the challenge there because there's a lot of respect there. There's a lot of respect. That's why they had to fight twice, and that's why they were boring fights because there was a challenge there. There was a lot of respect being shown there. Marcus, what's going on? Marcus Bell. Marcus love bringing up that Holyfield fight. I saw that last night, man. You brought up that Holyfield Kevin McBride fight. I ain't, I ain't worried about that fight, Marcus. Forget that, man. I ain't hyped for that one, man. Look, Holyfield's my guy, but shoot, man, I ain't playing that fight, man. To be said. At one point, I was curious. I was curious if Valentina was ever KO'd or knocked down before her UFC career, and the only one ever knocked down, at least there's film of this, is Holly Holm. Right, right. A lot of people argue that too. I mean, it looked like a knockdown to me, but a lot of people a lot of people say, nah, she didn't knock her down, but I thought she did. I thought it was like a knockdown balance. It wasn't like she was hurt. Hold on one second, y'all. All right, I'm back. Okay. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Some people say it wasn't a knockdown, but I thought it was. I mean, we'll go back and look at it one day. Maybe I'll watch it. Colton says it really depends if Andrade is stronger than Valentina in the clinch. Yeah, man. That's a dangerous look too, man. Like depending on the body, depending on. I know I say, look, they're both physically strong fighters, right? But there's going to be some places where your body type is going to be more effective. Like, um, let's say if they do go in the clinch, like who do y'all think? Who do y'all favor in the clinch, man? Like Andrade and Valentina. Hmm. If they're away from the fence, if they're away from the fence, if it's like in the center of the octagon and they try to clinch in the center, I'm favoring Andrade a little bit more there just because of her body type. But let's say if they get to the fence and just the way they position their feet, I'm thinking Valentina might kind of take over there because she's going to use the fence to her advantage and be able to generate power differently from her legs and her waist. Like she will probably try to reverse Andrade. She'll turn her more. She'll start turning her. And then it's going to come down to eventually who gets the takedown, like the slam. Like Andrade will kind of go down for the single leg where I could see Valentina just straight picking her up from there, just because she's done that before. She's done that before. She'll just pick somebody straight up and drop them. I mean, I know Andrade can do that too, but she usually looks for that big slam. She looks for that home run slam where she goes down for that leg and takes you up into the air. That's usually how she does it. Oh, Mary F, what's up? Mary F said, Andrade's advantages lie in her unpredictability, strength, and grappling ability. We need to see if Andrade's strength will translate against Valentina, though. Right, right. Yeah, like it's really hard to say if that will translate over because you're not just dealing with a better skilled fighter in Valentina, you're dealing with a physically strong fighter in Valentina. And which brings up this too, that's what I was talking about. Valentina also brought up that she felt like she fought better competition at 135. I mean, we can't argue that, right? She fought better competition. She handled better competition at 135. So that shows you how strong she really is too. Like, I don't know if anybody's near. Let me see. I gotta pull this up on another phone here. I want to pull up the records here. Like what we all know, Valentina, she had better success at bantamweight. You know, other than not winning the title, she did have success against everybody she fought at 135, right? Um, so that shows you how strong she is. It was give or take for Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade won some, she lost some, but she was definitely never on the path of a title at 135. So that definitely shows you, look, how strong Valentina is and how smart she is. But just talking about physical strength, Valentina Shevchenko did better at 135. Yeah, we just look at some of the names she's fought at 135. If you go back to Sarah Kaufman, Holly Holm, Juliana Pena, those were better quality opponents, and it put her on a path towards a title shot. To be said, Andrade against the cage. Yeah, I think Andrade. Excuse me. I actually think Valentina would be a little bit stronger there. See, yeah, Valentina. Yeah. So I think there's going to be a finish. I don't see Andrade taking a foot off the gas, and Valentina loves the counter. I think they're going to bring out the best in each other. Yeah, yeah. I'm not predicting this. I'm not predicting this fight to go 5. I see it ending in maybe, like I said, what I say, 3 or 4. Yeah. What did I say? 4? I can't remember. 3 or 4 in my video. Yeah. 3. Yeah. I got Valentina by TKO 3 or 4. Um, because there's no quitting Jessica Andrade, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. She's gonna keep coming until she gets something. She's gonna keep coming, whether she's exhausted. She's not gonna show it. She's gonna just keep on and on. Like I said in my video, you can break Andrade's nose, you can break her rib, but you can't break her will. That's the type of fighter Andrade is. Break her nose, break her rib, but you won't break her will. She'll keep coming. And I know that in this fight they are going back to look at some of the stuff that on Jessica's side, they are going to go back and look at some of the stuff that Jennifer Maya did. They're going to look at some of the stuff Juliana Pena did. Amanda Nunes. But I think it'll benefit them to look at what Jennifer Maya did and what's her name? Yeah, what Jennifer Maya did more so, and Juliana Pena, just because it kind of favors her body, and it favors her style. Like you said, her grappling. To be said, I could definitely be wrong. I could definitely be wrong, but I see Andrade's best takedown attempt coming with Valentina's back to the cage in the clinch and then drop into that single leg. See Andrade's best takedown. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I was just playing it out in my head. I could see that. Um, that probably would be her best takedown attempt. Probably would. Yeah, because that's really where she gets a lot of people. Whether she in her recent fights, where she gets you to the tap fence. Thinking about Joanna too. Yeah, when you go back to Joanna, she really wasn't able to take Joanna down. But yeah, when she got Joanna's back to the fence, that was her time to get to that leg. But I just feel like if Jessica tried that with Valentina, Valentina's going to be throwing some hard knees to the face off of the back, off of the cage. And I think when she goes there, that's where she's going to let loose because she knows that's where she's going to try to take her down. Like when Jessica gets her to the fence, I think Valentina's plan is to let knees go and quickly get that burst and reverse it, you know? But that might be where her best chance comes of taking her down, like she's done in the past to Joanna Rose, Caitlin Kagan, many other fighters, many other fighters. Um, but I think that Valentina and her team, they're preparing for everything on this one. They're preparing. Yeah, they're getting ready for that. But yeah, that was the other thing I was talking about a minute ago. I do agree with the Valentino on that too. Like I feel like she had better success at 135 than Jessica. You know, Jessica won some, lost some against the lower tier bantamweights, and she just never really had the size and everything that could carry her to, you know, title contender. That's why she had to move down to 115, you know? Yeah. Hold on, let's look at something here. Uh, Dang. I didn't know y'all know this too, man. I was just reading this article. Jessica Andrade says, all right, Jessica Andrade said this in an article. Valentina is the best in the UFC. I've always wanted to fight her because I want to fight the best. I fought a lot of good girls, and I think Valentina is one level above any other. Actually, her fight with Nunes, I'm one of those that think the fight could have went the fight could have been given to Valentina because she was better. Mm. Yeah, she's one of a lot of people that think that, but you know, I still feel like Amanda Nunes did enough to keep her belt. Here's what else she said. She said, even though Amanda has two belts, Valentina fights all the time and always puts on great fights in the same pace from start to finish. Amanda doesn't fight that often. She owns two belts, but doesn't fight all the time. So I think Valentina has more experience in the octagon. I think Valentina is the best pound for pound in the UFC. I disagree with that. It, that's crazy to say. How are you gonna say Amanda Nunes How are you gonna say Amanda Nunes doesn't fight all the time? I mean, there is some space in between her fights, but she does fight, and she does have the best names on her resume. I mean, if you got the person you consider number one pound for pound on your resume, you got two W's over that person. I don't care what you say. Amanda Nunes is still the best fighter. She just wants to say, okay, if she beats Valentina, she's gonna be number one pound for pound. But nah, that ain't true. No, I disagree with that right there. Oh, what'd you say? Lolita, hey, you said what article? Yeah, just Stamina said, yeah, look up Andrade says Valentina's pound for pound number one. Yeah, Jessica Andrade calls Valentina Shevchenko pound for pound. Yeah, look up that article. Yeah, I disagree with that big time. Mary F said Valentina's weakness is failing to keep the fight in the area that she has the largest advantage. I don't see anybody beating her in a straight up kickboxing contest, yet she often elects to grab. Right, right. That's her weakness. Like her weakness is to fully turn the offense on sometimes. You know, great defense, and she could be a little bit more offensive in these fights. That's why I think, you know, if she would have put more pressure on Amanda and, you know, expose those holes. Because let's put it this way, Valentina Shevchenko being a great counterpuncher, you should be able to see every little opening in Amanda Nunes. Don't over respect her. You should have taken those moments and said, look, boom, let me go to the body. Let me throw a feint, make Amanda throw that overhand right, whatever you got to do to make her counter. You know, I'm not trying to say it's easy, but if you're on that level, it should be a little bit easy if you feel like you're the best fighter, right? It should be easy for you if you feel like you're the best fighter. Compliment your opponent, make it more impressive if you beat him, right? That's what I said. She going to pound for pound number one if she beats Valentina, right? She gonna make herself pound for pound. V. Kendrick said, "I was right, giving Valentina respect." Yeah, give her a lot of respect there. She give her a lot of respect there. She trying to make this win big if she does it. Remember before Jessica slammed Rose on her head, she gave Rose a rose before. Yeah, yeah. What percent? Hold on. What percent do you give Andrade to pull the upset? Anytime we see Valentina in trouble, it's always because she chose to grapple. It happened with Maya, it happened with both Nunes fights, and it happened against Kaufman. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, your striking is much better than these fighters on a technical level, and why not just stick to that? That's why I did give her. That's why I didn't give her the win. I couldn't give her the win that rematch with Nunes because she just didn't take it on home. She just didn't take it on home the way she had. Yeah, Valentina. Let's see. What's the longest Amanda Nunes has gone without fighting anyway? She makes it sound like Amanda Nunes ain't active. Like, Amanda hadn't taken a year or two off, has she? I thought she only fought like every 6 months. I mean, I am getting, I'm a little tired of the two weight class jump now. Why not just take over one? It was fun 3 years ago, but now let's go ahead and do one division. So let's see. Okay, so Amanda fought once in 2020. There's a pandemic. We can argue that. She fought twice in 2019, twice in 2018, once in 2017, three times in 2016. So she's been consistent like an average fighter. You know, she's been about consistent like an average fighter. What about Valentina? Let's see. I know Valentina had surgery, so she went out for a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so let's start. Valentina, she fought twice in 2020, twice in 2019, twice in 2018, twice in 2017, 2016, where she fought one, two times. She fights about twice a year. They fight about the same. I mean, here and there, Nunes went one fight a year, but overall, it's about the same average. And I mean, that's what happens if you're a two division world champion. Which, yeah, I think that she needs to kind of give that up now, just to focus on one division. But they're about the same. So I can't say that's the reason you would make Valentina number one over Nunes. You can't, because Nunes holds two wins over. Fighters, they know the fight game, boy, but sometimes they don't know the actual the fight legacy, how it works. I don't know. All right. I feel like people mad at Andrade for being confident. Do people want Andrade to be scared? No, not me. I like her confidence. I don't like her views on the pound for pound, but I like her confidence. I do like her confidence going in there. I don't agree with what she's saying about the pound for pound. Nunes is definitely the better fighter. Because to be the better fighter, you have to be able to fight, not just strike or box. There's a difference between a great striker and a fighter. Fighter, to me, knows when to fight. They know when to let it go. They know how to find a way to win. You know what I mean? Shevchenko, her ego will give her problems if she thinks that Andrade will be easy on the ground. No, she ain't gonna be easy at all on the ground, man. I don't think so. No, like, Andrade is very active on the ground. She's letting hands go. It's gonna be a battle on the ground. She mad at her. Huh. Sometimes a dangerous fighter can be more. A dangerous fighter is gonna pull off an upset quicker than a dangerous fighter can sometimes pull off an upset quicker than a challenging fighter, if that makes sense. If that makes sense to y'all. I mean, it could it could it could be it could be one of those fights where you underestimate the danger, and yeah, boom, you could lose. But sometimes when you go in there with the challenging fighter, the fighter that's bringing the challenge, the two of you are gonna kind of respect each other. You know, the two fighters will respect each other to a certain extent. They're not really going to take crazy chances. It's going to be about trying to impress each other with skill and outclass somebody. But when you're talking about somebody that's dangerous, that means I'm talking about to the end. You can't break their will. They're going to keep trying. You know, they're a fighter. They're going to keep trying to find some way to win. It might not be pretty. It might not be technical, but they're going to continue to find that way to win. Muhammad's record 29, 30. Cole said, has Andrade's chin deteriorated through too much throughout her fights to take Valentina's shot? She did get dropped by Whaley. I don't think so. No, I don't think it did, man. I don't think her chin did deteriorate. I think she just got caught by a better striker on the back foot, and she put a lot of the impact on it for coming straight in. You know, she doesn't take a lot of she doesn't take a great deal of punishment, Andrade. You know, she doesn't take like a great deal of punishment in her fights. I think she dishes more out than she takes it. Um, I think 125, you'll see a better Andrade, you know, all around durability, strength, you know, and all of that. Yeah, I agree with that too, Beast. I think the weakness of Valentina is she's good everywhere. So sometimes, yeah, she'll be willing to go at it wherever you want to take it. But yeah, that could be dangerous. Like if she wanted to go at it with Andrade wherever Andrade wants it, I wouldn't do that. You know, I would not do that. That's why my keys to victory, I say avoid the inside at all costs. I say avoid the inside for however long you need, 5 rounds or whatever. Avoid the inside at all costs against Andrade. Don't give her any chances. Don't give Andrade any type of chance. Don't fight her on the inside unless you got to for a minute. You know, make sure you fight your ass off, break, go back to your range. Don't fight her on the inside. Because if she tries to grapple with Andrade and she winds up falling into something crazy and gets caught with something stupid, then that's your own fault, you know. But yeah, you got to use your strength, every bit of your strength, you know. Don't give her a chance. Valentina is confident too in her skills. Yeah, yeah. She got more skills too. She's got more skills. So she should be. Whaley caught Andrade. Yeah. Stammer said Whaley caught Andrade with everything. That's why she got wrecked. Yeah, everything, man. Like the right hand, the left, the knee, the next right hand, everything landed. She was out. The body shot, yeah. Robot Chickens said same Nunes made me a fan for life after her performance. Yeah, I don't so Valentina is not the best off of her back. I think I think Juliana Pena is very good off of her back. I think I'm very impressed with what she can do off of her back, you know. She's very active off of her back. I think Valentina does enough. She does enough, but that's all you need is just enough to make yourself well rounded. Mary F says she's not the best on the ground in any position. Jessica I even reversed her at the end of the first round in their fight. Yeah, I remember that. Valentina needs to use her grappling to stay on her feet. She needs to use the grappling, yeah, and just use her range. You know what I mean? Just use the jab and use that straight left hand. Like I think that she will have to be Valentina will have to be a little bit out of her comfort zone with volume punching. I think she will have to pop 2 or 3 jabs out. She will have to put combinations together to keep Jessica Andrade off, you know, and that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. You have to put more than one. You have to put more than one strike in the face of somebody like. You have to put more than one strike in the face of somebody like Jessica Andrade. You know, you got to chop that leg. You got to double jab, and you got to move. That's what frustrates her. She did add the head movement to her game. I know she added that head movement to her game, but still, you got to be pumping them shots out like that. GDR is better than Pena off her back. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would say that. Valentina likes to react to her opponent, and I think it might be dangerous against somebody like Andrade who can be very unpredictable even on the feet. Yeah. Yeah, she reacts a lot. That's why I call her one of the, great counterpuncher because yeah, she'll react off of what you do, and that's why she has great timing. But this is a fight where I think she'll have to put some offense together. She'll have to put some offense together in here, like be more offensive. I think she could just win it defensive minded too, but to do that, you're gonna have to be a little bit more of a volume puncher here. And I don't know if Valentina can turn it up as a volume puncher like Joanna style. Muhammad said, who do you think is faster? Um, I think Valentina is faster. Like they have different types of speed, but I think Valentina is quicker. She's very good at timing and she's very good at landing real good quick shots like she did to Jennifer Maya a few times, even Holly Holm. I think the way she was beating Holly Holm to the punch and Jennifer Maya, I think she's very good at studying body language and, looking at those twitch of the shoulders. So I'm gonna have to go with Valentina as far as being faster. Cause fighters like Joanna, fighters like Rose, when they stuck to a game plan for, to a certain extent for Rose, they were able to outmaneuver. They were able to outmaneuver Andrade quick. So yeah, I would go with Valentina. Valentina is quicker. Mark Frazier said her striking is much better. Yeah, Valentina. Yeah, yeah. She needs to use lateral movement and stay away from the cage. Stay away from the inside. If she thinks that Andrade will be easy on the ground, she could be in trouble. Val thinks that she's a complete fighter, but she's not. Her BJJ is not good. Damn. Yeah, I just say avoid it. Yeah, don't even try it. Maria said Joanna was able to frustrate and outpoint Andrade because her style striking is to beat her opponents to the punch rather than react and counter like Valentina. Right. It's like looking at Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he he can do everything, but like his main thing now in his later years was to counter punch and react. Manny Pacquiao, he was like a volume puncher. He beats you to the punch, where Floyd he'll react and counter. You know, um, Joanna, yeah, she'll meet you in the center, but she's fully keeping you at the end. Keeping you at the end of her jabs and her punches. Her flurries and her offense is her defense. You know, that's why she can get hit a lot because when she's not moving her head and you can counter like Rose was able to, she will get hit. Wei Lee was touching. Whenever that work rate goes down, she starts to get hit more. She is a complete fighter. It's not. It's just that she's not equally good at that basis. Right. That's why I say about a complete fighter. Like a complete fighter, you ain't got to be perfect in everything. You just got to have enough. You just got to have enough of everything. All right, I'm getting ready to get up out of here, y'all. I watched old Andrade fights when she fought bigger opponents. She used to do really good chokes. Yeah, Valentina sticks and moves pretty well. Yeah, she does. She sticks and she sticks and moves well. She's a good counter puncher and she's a good timing fighter. But I think you got to have a good work rate against Valentina, against Andrade in this fight. Yeah, Mr. Lee, 72 hours, baby. Lolita said, I want Andrade to choke out Valentina. Dang. Well, we said you stated your pick. Andrade has improved since Joanna fight. Joanna hasn't improved. I don't know who would win now. Hmm. Has her improvements been enough to take on Joanna though? I don't know. Like I think Joanna's still on a higher level than Andrade. Like Andrade is catching up, if that makes sense. I think Andrade is playing catch up. I think she's playing catch up here. Like I still don't think the things she can do would be enough to beat Joanna. She might make it a little bit more competitive and make her miss, but I think that Joanna still has a lot of skill to beat her. Yeah, I still got to go with Joanna even in a rematch. But let me think. If it happened in 115, yeah, 125 would probably be interesting though. I think Joanna still wins at 125, but it might be a little bit more interesting. Yeah, anything is possible. That's why I say she's a dangerous fighter. You know, one punch that's possible. Every time Joanna fights Andrade, she would have to be perfect. Yeah, I think she's near perfect when it comes to that type of style. As long as you have that tailor-made style in front of you, I can see her always. I can see her winning. I can see. Let me see. Eight out of 10 times, or 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times. I think Joanna beats Jessica Andrade just because that style is made for her. Yeah, she did. Like Ngannou. But yeah, y'all. Let me see. I'll probably get back on here tomorrow. We'll talk some more about the other fight, Whaley Rose. We'll talk about some things with that. I just wanted to come on here and talk about this interview that Two Beasts had brought up. And Valentina brought up some good points in there. Just about the punching power and the style. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. But make sure y'all subscribe. And yeah, we're down to 3 days now. Down to 3 days. So yeah, make sure y'all hit the like on the way out. And yeah, make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.